Hi, it's Michael. Undoubtedly, every rider would like to say that he or she wants to ride safely and be safe when on a motorcycle or a scooter. And so what keeps us safe when we ride and during and other activities during our life? So when we talk about riding, you could say staying as visible as possible on the road, riding defensively, having good control of the bike, riding like a pro. And that's all true, but that's at the same time it's not all. Actually, the biggest thing that keeps you safe when you ride is invisible to the conscious mind, and it can be put in many ways, but in this case it will be put this way. It is your energy state and your spiritual state that determines your fate. So it could be said it is your purity, your energy and spiritual purity that keeps you safe or not safe. So this is what this talk is about. This is extremely important because you can ride like a pro. God bless Jerry Palladino. You can ride like a pro, but if you're not energetically or spiritually clean or whole, then you can still get into a fatal accident or some trouble. So it's important to understand this. So as said, if it's our spiritual and energy purity or wholeness that keeps us safe, the more positive, the more pure, the more whole we are, the more safe we are, the more we contribute to us being safe. So what makes us unpure, what fragments our energy in such a way that it increases the likelihood of accidents, diseases, mishaps, and so on? Well, it's things like toxicity, negative intentions, using certain colors that should not be used. Don't frown at it, it's very important. For certain people it's extremely important. This will be touched upon later on. And also it is the consequences of our past actions, which is also called karma. In our natural native state, we are whole, positive, and our energy is pure. That's our natural state. Now, in this world, we are facing constant pressure from all directions, always, all the time, and these pressures are some of these pressures are aimed, or how it could be said, if we succumb to those pressures, they contribute to our energy being fragmented, to being polluted, impure, or symbolically speaking. And so, as mentioned, the pressures are mainly toxins. They are the use of negative entertainment, porn, fighting, killing games, watching violent movies, listening to rap music and heavy metal and similar stuff, reading horror books, thinking negative or violent thoughts. That all contributes to the fragmentation of our energy, of our wholeness, on top of that, in the unconscious and subconscious world, there are kind of invisible currents of beliefs, thoughts, and energy movements that put pressure on us, and if we accept them to our universe, to our being, then they contribute to our fragmentation, and they try to put us down. And you may not be aware of them. We are not usually aware of them, and they surface usually as either some idiotic belief, some stupid actions, or they actually can program us to get into an accident, to become sick, to get into some violent situation. So yes, our subconscious and or unconscious mind can be programmed without our conscious knowing to accept some false belief that then can override your conscious beliefs, your conscious wishes, and can create whatever. Definitely not something positive in the context this talk is about. It is about unpleasant consequences, painful consequences, suffering. So how to get out of it, how to stay protected against all these pressures, especially if we cannot see them, and they knock at our doors in the subconscious or unconscious, where we cannot see physically. Well, a lot of it is our attitudes, our will, our doing, our thinking, our being, and our staying away from things that weaken us, from negative, weakening entertainment, from toxins, and to, as it is said, to seek holy company rather than things that are not so positive. So the major toxins that most people or a lot of people use are, of course, alcohol, drugs, even coffee, smoking, even though Dr. David Hawkins said that smoking pure organic tobacco is okay, it is not weakening. Though anyway, smoking just normal cigarettes that you buy in normal stores and so on, not good. All these energies are very violent. They don't belong in the human energy system. They fragment your energy. When you have a little sip of alcohol, and it can be weak alcohol like beer or wine, then it is like getting hit with a sledgehammer, and your energy fragments, and it can create these fragments that then are like anchors to your being, to your energy. And all this contributes to the impurity, fragmentation already mentioned, and as said, increases the likelihood of you getting into an accident. Now, on top of that, let's talk about colors. So there is one color that is generally not beneficial to human health, and that is black color. Now, how people can handle it, how we can handle it, depends on at least our level of energy. If we are highly energized, if we are very positive, we can probably handle it better. It also depends if we have any so-called neuro-emotional issues, that we may be positive, but if we have a neuro-emotional issue that to some degree introduces an incongruence or weakening in our system, then we may be susceptible to black color. So when a person who is susceptible to black color is introduced to black color, either wearing it or even seeing it, then the person's energy system may get blocked, it may get switched, which means the person can do something, can behave in a completely unpredictable way and do something completely opposite to logic and reason. Like, for example, if you are wearing black and or riding on a black motorcycle or scooter, and you may be okay, you may be able to handle it fine, but if that approaching driver is susceptible to black color, cannot handle it safely, then it can space out the driver, and let's say he may unwittingly steer into you, or instead of stepping on the brake, he may step on the gas pedal. And later on he may say, I didn't see him, or he may say, I meant to brake, I don't know what happened. And in a way it's true. When people are switched, blocked or spaced out, then anything can happen and it makes no sense afterwards. So all this is very important. So finding other color than black, preferably some brighter color, very important. Remember that you are not an island, you are part of a whole. So the way you present yourself to others, you are acting as an ambassador of not only yourself, but what you stand behind, what you align with. So if you are as a positive person and you write in a positive way, then you are ambassador of that, and so it's important to emanate that energy in a way to present yourself in such a way that helps others, that inspires others. And as well, mentioning another thing that some people believe helps keep them safe, and that is loud pipes, loud exhaust, and or loud engines, which is of course falsity. If you do a search on the internet, there have been some scientific studies if loud exhaust helps. It doesn't help. That's been scientifically documented. But who cares about science? Let's talk about energy and spiritually. So loud noises stress the nervous system of the rider. They annoy people around. So if you have a loud exhaust, you may think how manly you are and that you're keeping safe, but in fact it's the opposite. People think you are an a-hole and you're annoying them, and then your nervous system gets stressed, you get spiritually stressed, because your spiritual essence is lovingness, positivity, and helping others, and here you are bothering them with your loud exhaust. So you're doing the opposite of what your true nature is, which again stresses you, fragments you, and makes your energy less pure, lower energy, so it contributes to you not being as safe. So another important way how to help protect yourself is positive affirmation and prayers. This has nothing to do with religion. It's being said prayers, but that has nothing to do with religions, even though that religions use prayers. It is spiritual. It is just positive affirmation that you're stating, you're thanking for that which you wish to have as if you already have it. So I am very grateful for being safe on the motorcycle, for encountering positive people, positive drivers, and having joyful, safe, healthy fun. That's a prayer. That's a positive affirmation. And then of course it's important to also walk your talk and follow up with positive action. So if before your ride you pray or you say such a positive affirmation, and then you ride aggressively and you cut off people, or you go too fast and zigzag, and it doesn't belong into that environment, then you're kind of canceling your positive prayer and affirmation by your negative actions that are counter to what you expressed. So again, to recap, what really keeps you safe is there are probably many other things we cannot see. The spirit, God, only knows the wholeness of it. At the same time, this is definitely a humongous part of it, what is being said in this talk. So what keeps you safe, what synchronizes your events, that you encounter positive drivers, that they don't cut you off, or if some mishap happens that somebody cuts you off, that it's a minor thing, that it doesn't result in some major suffering, some harm. Okay, so that is your positivity, your wholeness, your health could be said, and there are many contributors to it, which has been said: staying positive, staying away from toxins, riding responsibly, and praying, and also big help is chiropractic, healthcare, and neuro-emotional technique, NET, healthcare. So how can chiropractic help? Chiropractic helps your nervous system to run more smoothly. So as your spine gets tighter and tighter, then your nervous system cannot fire as efficiently as well, and that can result in you being distracted, in your coordination not being so good. When you're distracted, you can do something stupid what you otherwise wouldn't do. It may actually result in you not having enough energy to handle the motorcycle you're riding, which again would be a big contributor to some unsafe condition. So chiropractic and neuroemotional technique healthcare. So neuroemotional technique detects in a way fragmentation within your system, detects neuroemotional incongruencies, blocks, and helps to resolve them. So if you're fragmented, and everybody is fragmented to some degree, everybody is, we wouldn't be here if we wouldn't be fragmented to some degree, then it helps detect those fragmentations and helps correct them. So if you're interested in neuroemotional technique, the website is netmindbody.com, netmindbody.com, and there is a link on top that says find practitioner or practitioner finder, and you can find one. Even if one would need to travel quite some distance, it's still worth it, because it can have a tremendous impact on improving your health and your safety when riding. So if there are any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them below the video, and that's about it. Michael out.